Well, hey there, American Farmsteadhers. This is Jenny with the Gramstead Family Farm.
And Donna with Hazel Bell Farm.
We are coming to y'all from Northeast Florida as two American Farmsteadhers, doing our best to grow our own food and share our homesteading experiences with you in hopes that you'll grow a little food of your own.
Yeah, this week we're catching up on farms, your farm and mine.
Or just trying to hold it together.
Yeah. So we've been talking about gardening really the last couple of podcasts, but it is only January, right?
It is. It's only January. We've got plenty of time to prep for the spring garden.
Yeah.
And originally we were supposed to talk gardening, but we've had a lot going on both of our farms.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. So do you want to start?
Yeah. Well, I'm just here to say that I'm glad that the cold, wet weather is gone.
Yeah.
All of my critters.
Would have been fun, but no thank you.
No thank you. Yeah, snow would have been fun, but no thanks. And I'm glad that cold, rainy weather is gone because it really put a hurting on one of my calves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she was just out in the cold, wet weather for too long. And let's see here. This was probably Saturday. Was it Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday's when you messaged me.
Yeah, it was Saturday morning. I was out, making the rounds and everything. And one thing that I always do with my cows is I count them because some of them look so much alike. If you don't count them, it's easy to mistake one for the other. So I always count them to make sure that everybody is here and not on the other side of the fence or something like that. And I stood out there and watched them out in the pasture, and we had just put out some hay. So they were all, like kind of clumped up in one little area.
Right.
And I was just getting the wrong number. And I'm like, it's probably just because they're clumped up, but I'm going to walk out there anyways and just make sure. And I go out there and count them, and I'm still counting the wrong number. So I'm like, wait a second. Okay, all right, who's missing? It wasn't the normal culprit, the little bull calf that always gets on the other side of the fence. Like, he was there. So I'm like, wait a second. And I realized that it was one of the other calves that wasn't there. So I'm like, great. I start looking around and end up finding her, and she's laying down kind of off to the side by herself, and I'm like, oh no. Like, when
the cows are eating, like when they're all eating and one is not, something's wrong because they eat at the same time, they forage at the same time.
Right.
Like that's just how they are.
Right. So I go up and check on her, and she's laying there all bundled up, and she's got the head posture, like the head posture that animals do when they're on their way out. They kind of like really fold their head like backwards and like really kind of tuck it in, and it looks abnormal.
Right.
And so when you've seen that a time or two before, like you recognize it, like, oh no, that's not good.
Yeah.
And she kind of had, like, she opened her eyes when I came up, but she had that wild look in her eyes.
Oh, like something's wrong.
Right.
Just like.
Right. And so, I go over there, and it's odd that I can walk right up to this particular calf and, like, put my hands all over her.
Right.
She's not moving. She's not getting up. She's not trying to get away. And her mama, who's Daisy, our oldest cow, 15. I was just looking at her records the other day. I'm like, I cannot believe how old she is.
Aw.
She's a good mama. So she came over, and, as soon as she realized I was over there with the calf, she came over and started mooing at me and licking at the calf. And she knew that something was wrong with her. Yeah. So I tried to get the calf up by myself, and she wouldn't get up. So, of course, I go in, and my sister and her husband were there, and he's really good with animals and cows and stuff like that. So I get Jarrett and Tori to come out with me, and, we're trying to get her up, and she just won't. And so finally they get her up, and when they get her up, I go to touch her face and whatnot, and just to try to look her over and whatnot. And her nose was super green and super snotty, and you could just tell she had a fever. So I just kind of stepped back and watched her for a few minutes and realized her breathing, it was super, super shallow and really fast. So it just screamed pneumonia to me.
Right.
I think that, the previous 2 nights we had a lot of rain and it was really cold.
It was our coldest day.
It was.
That day, but I don't know if it was that day or the day before was our coldest day.
I think the first night of rain was our coldest day.
Yeah.
But then it followed it up with a whole another 24 hours.
Cold.
And I mean, my cows have access to shelter, but they don't go in it.
They don't normally care.
They don't normally, yeah. They're usually fine. I mean, they're Florida cows. They're not used to 20 degrees.
Right.
So I ended up like, okay, what's in the arsenal? What's in the arsenal of emergency, somebody's sick supplies?
Yeah.
And, it was kind of nice to like open up the arsenal and go, oh, yeah. I can use that, and I can do this, and I can do that, and I had lots of options, so that was good. So we decided on giving her a pretty decent sized dose of antibiotics. Followed that up with a B vitamin shot to kind of get her up, get some energy. Like, come on, girl.
Never bad.
Right, never bad. I had selenium and vitamin E paste, which I know is good for like muscle weakness and stuff like that. So I'm like, well,
it won't hurt.
I'll give her some of that too.
Sure. Vitamin E helps boost the immune system too.
Yeah.
So and reduce inflammation and like all kinds of things. So that won't hurt.
Yeah. So she was also kind of far from the water. So I'm like, I'm going to take some water out to her. We couldn't get her to drink nothing. Like she was not interested at all. So we ended up opting for tubing in some fluids, and we ended up mixing up because my sister's husband was like, electrolytes. She needs electrolytes.
Yeah.
Let's get some in her. I didn't really have anything. So my sister's looking up online. She's like, electrolytes for cows. How do you make it? And she found a recipe that was coconut water, which I actually had.
Oh, good.
Which was weird because it's not something I usually buy.
Yeah.
But it was coconut water, baking soda, salt, and honey.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay. But the only honey I had was spicy. So I'm like,
sugar.
I'll skip the spicy honey.
Yeah. Or I probably would have opted for molasses.
Yeah, I didn't have any molasses.
Or sugar. I mean,
right.
Just for the carbs.
Right.
Yeah.
So we did the coconut water, baking soda, and salt.
Okay.
And ended up tubing in like 2 cups, of course, very slowly. Like, I mean, we would do like a couple tablespoons at a time.
But wait, let's just clarify. Like, this is a tiny little calf.
This is a tiny calf. She is a mini.
Yeah, just for our listeners to think,
yes.
like 2 cups, what's that going to do for your cow?
Right. This cow is super small.
Yeah.
She's out of the registered Aberdeen Angus, and her particular mom is the smallest of all the cows. She always has the tiniest little babies.
And this one is like her tiniest.
This one is her tiniest. Yeah. This calf is 6 months old and maybe 200 pounds.
So cute, though.
Maybe.
So 2 cups of electrolytes goes a lot farther than your, 800-pound calf.
Yes.
Yearling. So, yeah, just to clarify.
Yeah. I mean, this cow is really small. So after we did all that, the goal was just to keep her up because she was stumbling around on it. I mean, like big time stumble and fall, and
on her way out.
She was on her way out. I mean, when we went in, after we, came out and assessed, and I went in to get all the things. When we came back out, she had already went back down. She was on her side, and I mean, like her legs were like, she was dying.
That sounds terrible.
Like, had I not walked out there, I really think she would have died.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, without intervention.
Yeah, and I mean, her legs were just straight out, and she was shaking, and she had that bizarre head posture again, and it was not good. I mean, honestly, we really thought she was going to die. I mean, it was like, okay, we've done everything really that we have here. At that point, I wasn't going to call a vet out.
Right.
I just wasn't. So for the rest of the day, it was keep the cow on her feet. And so we were out there for quite a while Like every time she went down, nope, stand back up. You got to get back up. Got to get back up. And we just continued with that throughout the day. I mean, we had even talked about, at one point, our neighbor, he had to sling a cow up in the barn, to force the cow to stand up. Like, no, you can't lay down and die.
Right.
And so we had even talked about that. Like, maybe we need to sling her and make her stand up. So by that evening, she was starting to respond to the other cows. Like if another cow came up and Maple, bless Maple's heart, she's in heat. Okay, but she's all up in our business trying to help take care of this calf along with Daisy, the mama. But Maple's in heat, so here comes the bull behind
Lord.
Maple, and we're like, oh, Lord, y'all got to go away.
Oh, my gosh. They're so funny. Like they're so, when they're tame, like Maple, they're, and their cows are curious anyways. Like that's just in their nature. If, like my cows always tell when something's off over there, something's in the woods, they're all staring, like they tell you when something's wrong. Yep. So if there's something going on out there, they're super curious about, hey, what are you doing in our field?
Right.
Like, what's
Maybe
going
I
on?
Can help.
Right.
No, Maple, in this case, you're going to cause a giant accident.
Right.
Somebody's going to die.
Yeah.
So for the rest of the evening, we just, tried to keep the calf up, and she started responding better. Like before, she was just like in a daze, and as the hours went on, she just became a little bit more alert, would stumble and fall less. And so it's like, okay.
Just a little bit better, a little bit better.
Right. She's a little bit better. And so by the end of that night, she was totally standing on her own. If Maple came up and tried to lick her, she wouldn't fall over.
Oh, good.
Maple would move her because Maple's so big. Maple would move her, but she would catch her balance and not fall. So we're like, okay,
that's a good sign.
This is way better.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we were like in and out of the pasture till like midnight. And finally it was like, well, we're just going to go to bed.
You can't be out there forever. You
do what you can.
Right.
And
if there's nothing else you can do. Right.
And at that point, there really wasn't. We could have came and got a steroid from you.
Yeah.
But, it didn't end up doing that. And so the next morning when we went out, like as soon as the sun was up, I'm like, I got to go check on the cow,
Yeah.
And I went out there and she was already up. She wasn't even laying down.
So good.
Yes, and had wandered over to where we had dropped hay and was eating.
Good.
So I'm like, oh, okay.
Appetite is everything when it comes to cows.
I felt so much better when I saw her up nibbling on some hay. I was like, thank you.
Yes, that's awesome.
So, throughout the day, we just, kept an eye on her. And now we're at the point where if I go out there and she's laying down, she'll jump up and just try to get away from me.
Oh, that lady's coming again.
She's sure to mess with me.
Well, that's good. Yeah. I'm so glad you had a positive outcome there.
Yeah, we really are too.
Because when you talk about getting up the next day to go check, you want to know as soon as possible. And when you do that, that you're walking out to one of two outcomes.
Right.
She's probably not going to be the same. You just have the feeling of she's better.
Right.
Or she's dead.
Right. So. And even my boys had that feeling. My boys they're early risers. And so they heard me go out that morning. And when I was walking back up, one of them was standing on the porch. Did she die, Mama?
Farm kids.
Right.
They're it's black and white. Right. Wow.
So that was good.
It
was a good outcome, but we're still just watching her close.
Yeah, not out of the woods.
Yeah, I don't feel like we're out of the woods. And if I get a chance to get my hands on her, I'll probably catch her and maybe at least do more B vitamins or something, just to kind of cover the basis. But that's if I can catch her. I'm not gonna
try too hard.
I don't want to stress her out either.
Yeah. But her fighting back against not wanting to be caught and that kind of thing, that's all good. That's good signs.
Right.
So that's good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad for you. So, our situation.
Right.
It was different. It's completely different. And the outcome is obviously different with a different scenario. But our Dolly White finally went into labor. This whole thing is I mean, it's so upsetting. Like Eric's really upset because he feels like we failed. Like it's upsetting.
Yes. Anytime you have an outcome that doesn't go favorable, you always question yourself. Like, did I do enough? Did I do the right thing?
Did I cause it?
What could we have done different?
Right. I mean, it's like anything else.
Right.
Hindsight's 2020. In our situation, Dolly, I noticed that Dolly I've been bringing her in to the milk stanchion after I milk the other 3 cows who are in milk. I've been bringing her in once a day, sometimes twice a day, as part of the routine, like to get her used to, like, this is your turn in the rotation, getting her gut adjusted to having grain again, because we don't grain our dry cows. You know, that kind of thing, reminding her of the manners, all of that stuff. So she had come in and I did like my little assessment over her in the morning. I was like, oh, one side of her tail ligaments were gone. And she's a big girl. She's a Holstein. They're big cows. And so like their bone structure is very big. And so like when those tail head ligaments go, it's a really big gap. Like it's very defined. Right. So that one side was gone. The other side was not gone, but I was like, oh, this is something to watch. You know, her teats were swollen, you know, all the things. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to watch this. You know, this was Thursday, and I thought we're going to have a calf by Sunday at the latest. Well, later that same day, I just happened to see from my kitchen window, I had seen her in one part of her field, and not long later, I saw her in another part of the field laying down, and then I just kind of kept tabs on that. Like I noticed that she was up and down a lot and that she was following the fence. She wanted to get away from the other cows. She wanted to go somewhere else. And so she kept like leaning over the fence looking at that other field. You know, where there was nobody over there. So I keep binoculars in the window so I can look out and not disturb her, you know?
Yeah, we do too.
So I kept watch. And then I went out when I realized she was in early labor. Like, oh, okay, this is good. So I'm going to watch. I mean, I was closer, but I still kept my distance. She didn't want me near her. I didn't see her water break or anything for a while, but, you know, until it had been a couple hours. And this is the problem that I have with my cows when I know they're due soon. I know early labor, like when I see it, I'm just so in tune to every little detail that it's like every part seems to take forever, you know, like the way it's like the helicopter mom thing with cows. So I've done this a couple of times. So I'm like, but I know this about myself. So I know like it's not as long as it feels, and I keep tabs on my clock on my phone. Well, it was dang cold out. It was one of our coldest days. Thankfully, it was after the rains had passed, like the cold rains. But after that rain passed, it got colder. Like that's when we had frozen water everywhere here, you know? Right. So I don't even know like where to begin. Eric got home and I was like, no, she's good. Like this is active labor is happening right now. Like I'm so glad you're home. You know? So he comes, like we were way far down the driveway. He comes home. He said, okay, I'm going to go park my truck and I'll come back out. You know, like, okay. Well, no sooner did he get up here that I called him and said, no, it's a breech calf. I was watching her. And instead of seeing like that gush of fluid when their water breaks, I saw this little tiny gush, like teeny tiny. And out plops a calf tail.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so, and it wasn't even clear at first. Like that's what it was. I thought it was like dark red blood, you know? And I was like, that's alarming too. Like you're going to have some blood in calving, but you don't want to see.
But you don't normally get that first. That usually comes after the fact.
Like with the delivery. Right. So I got a little closer. She did not want me to be around. I was trying to not like upset her and get her running around the field, you know? Realized that's what it was. Called Eric. He says, okay, I'm coming. Well, we've got customers coming to pick up milk in and out, in and out. I'm like, oh my gosh, people are about to show up here.
Timing.
And we have an emergency, and they're not farm people. Right. They just want the good milk.
Right. And we don't need an audience. Right. So love you. Bye-bye.
Right. I'm going to need you to leave, please.
Right now.
Like I told somebody that, like, I need you to be quick. And I felt really bad later, but it is what it is. It was the moment we were in, you know?
Right. And I mean, you don't need to be worried about other people.
No, I didn't want to be, but
no.
Anyways, so I had watched Dolly like actively labor for an hour before we realized it was a breech calf. Then, but her water hadn't broken, so it wasn't like I didn't feel like I needed to intervene anything. Yeah, but then once we saw the tail, I was like, okay, now she needs our help. So it took us. We worked on her for a good hour and a half, and the problem was, so Holsteins, you know, they're big and they're bony, they're long-legged,
right?
And this calf, it's a beef cross, but it still has Mama's Holstein genes also. Yeah. And it was very long-legged, and it being butt first, its back legs were folded up underneath it. And so you have to reach in and fish those out and get them out first. Well, this whole time she's pushing.
So you're not trying to turn it. You're just trying to get the legs to pull it.
Yeah. There was not going to be any turning it. We just needed to fish its back feet out from underneath it. Pray we don't break a leg doing that. Pray we don't tear Mama's uterus with a hoof. You know, like all the things that can go wrong. So to do that, you have to push the calf back in through the pelvic ring, you know, and she's contracting. And like we called on the vet, we called on our AI tech, we called some friends, like ranch people, you know, and we did all the things we could do. They talked us through it. And every time we push that calf in, you have to quickly work because she's going to push back. And like our tech said, make sure she'll break your arm. She'll break your arm pushing in that pelvic ring.
Really?
So be careful. Yeah. Like we were like, oh, okay.
Oh no.
Like we've been in the cows before. Like we've helped some repositioning. We've only had 3 malpresentations total ever. One of them was last year. We did the C-section for, like, there was nothing we could do with that, but we had been in there to see. One of them was my Hazel before we lost her. That calf was upside down, so we had to get in there and get it turned right. So it could be born. So this is the first one that was like totally butt first, and with this scenario, and we kind of we knew what to do, but we didn't have the experience in doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a lot harder than you think it is. Like in theory, it's like, oh, you just go in there and get the feet.
Right.
Like just go in there and get the feet.
Yeah.
And we had a hard time with that. So it took us a long time. And honestly, and so we finally, once we got the feet out, like we were able to pull the calf right out.
Right.
She was done pushing at that point. She wasn't helpful at all. But we used to come along to kind of ratchet it out. And it was not alive, which, you know, honestly, like Eric was so upset.
Oh.
Like we have dead calf, and like we should have done something differently, like you said. But to me at that point, I had a feeling the calf was dead. Right. And so I was relieved. Like, oh, thank God we got it out, because if you don't, you're going to lose your mama. Right. Also. Right. So, and he was great. Eric was really good. Like he had no qualms about, okay, well, let's do this.
Right, let's do this.
And
thank goodness for those husbands in livestock emergencies.
And just keeping that level-headed, calm, cool, collected.
That's how Tori is. Like, I'll get all worked up and get emotional in emergency, and the husband, he's like level-headed, like, we got this.
Here's the facts.
It's fine. This is what we're going to do. It'll be okay.
Yeah. And me, I'm not. I mean, I wasn't like a hysterical woman. I wasn't like that. I just, he just did a really better job at staying calm than I did. Right. And, he worked. We had to take turns. Like he'd work, then I'd work, then he'd work, then I'd work. And the problem we had was like he's got the strength, but he's muscly, big arms. Like and you have to use 2 hands, 2 arms up in this cow at the same time. Right. And so like his arms were too big at times, and where I could get in further and I could reach and do things, I'm not as strong as he is. Right. So I struggled with, the pulling part. So we worked together. We took turns. And then once we got those feet out and got the calf out and realized it was gone, like we tried everything trying to revive it. But I think what happened was in all that, reaching in, and doing our best to be careful to not make the situation worse. I think his umbilical got separated. And so, without that, there's no oxygen to the calf. And so he was gone and at some point in all of that, but I don't know, like there's no way to know exactly what happened, but that's my guess.
Right.
Yeah, that's my guess. So, I guess the ironic part about all of it was earlier in that day, Eric had called and said, hey, he said, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching Dolly. She's in early labor. I'm all excited, And he said, I said, I think she's in early labor. And he said, oh, okay, well, that's cool. Well, when I get home, let's ride over to so-and-so's house. They have an orphan calf that its mama didn't make it through the cold. Like she was old and she was sick and she didn't make it. So he said, they're not going to take care of it if we want the chance to do it. Let's go get it. I'm like, okay, well, as long as Dolly's okay, I'm okay. And he's like, all right. Well, I texted him like right after that and said, we're going to have 2 calves. Like she's going to calve before you get home. And so we're like, that's what we thought was happening.
Right.
And so anyways, once Dolly was good and okay for a little bit, we gave her a couple of shots, for pain and fever. The poor thing was so beat up.
I bet.
Jenny, we were sore the next day from working on her. Muscles we didn't realize we used, my inner thigh muscles were hurting so bad. And I was like, it hurt to get out of bed. I did this strenuous workout for the first time or something. Eric's arms were cramping up, his forearms were cramped. It was that much work. So I can't imagine what she must have felt like.
She probably felt like she got hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah. So she was bruised and we could see, broken capillaries. She acted actually like she was going into shock, before we got the calf out. We had the feed out. I had the vet on the phone. I said, okay, we got it, but she looks like she's going into shock. She started to shiver. She was foaming at the mouth. The whole thing was not looking good.
Right.
Her eyes were wild,
That wild eye look, that tells you this is serious.
They're very stressed.
Yes.
And she just looked do something or I'm done,
Yeah, they do. That's what that look tells you. Something needs to be done here fast.
Yeah. So he gave me some maximum, past the maximum doses of some meds. And so we went ahead and did that for pain and inflammation and just to get her strong, really. And I ran over and found this calf, but it was cold and it was dark on this farm with no lights. And so it took us a while. It ended up being a very late night by the time I got the rest of the cows milked when we got back. Got this calf. He's a cute, ugly little thing. He's cute though. And then I got her in. I got Dolly in to get her milked out, her first milking. And
right.
I mean, really and truly, she's been a rock star. Bringing them in and getting that routine established has been everything for her, for me and her. She's a little kicky, but I just put the kick bar on her and they kind of always have to be retaught after they have a dry period, you know, and she kind of had a longer dry period than that minimum 2 months. So it's been a minute, you know, she needed some reminders, but she's been good. She's been really good. So her milk's just coming in now. She's not out of the woods either. We're pretty confident that there's no uterine tear. She would have been gone by now if that was the case. But, cause here we are now, day 5 after it happening. So,
so hopefully she's on the other side of it.
I hope so. She had a retained placenta. This would be our second one in this calving season. So we're changing our protocol with, vitamins and minerals and that kind of thing. But, so we're still watching for, I think she has a retained placenta, I should say, because when we left to go pick up that calf, she may have passed it and eaten it and I wouldn't know.
Yep.
Or she may have retained it and I wouldn't know. She hasn't had any parts hanging out.
Right.
So I don't know. The vet isn't overly concerned about it. We did give her an antibiotic shot because, and it's a long release shot that, it'll last her for a while. And there's no milk withdrawal. So that's the good thing about it.
Nice.
Yeah. So he said, yeah, that's good. You can give her that. And you can do a second dose after 2 or 3 days, but he asked us to not and just see what she does and see if she starts getting a fever. So we're holding off on, the anti-inflammatories and the fever reducers and that just to kind of see what she does on her own.
Right.
To know how to proceed. Because like Banamine, that was great in the beginning, but at this point, it could mask something else.
Okay.
So if it keeps a fever down, we wouldn't see infection and inflammation. So. Yeah, so that's kind of where we are with her. We're just watching her and doing our best right now, bringing her in, milking her. She's eating. She has a great appetite, which, like I said, is everything when it comes to cows. So that's good. It stinks that we lost a calf.
It does stink.
But she doesn't seem too bothered.
But you're helping save another.
Yeah, we didn't pair them. We were going to pair them, but we didn't.
Yeah, so you're just bottle feeding him. Yeah.
We put him with my beef mamas. One of them has a calf. I think he's 5 weeks old, maybe 6 weeks old now. And I think she'll take him if he is persistent enough to figure out how to jump in there when her own calf is nursing.
Yeah.
I think he'll figure it out. But until we know that's happening, I'm bringing bottles out. So, which is okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever. I already have another bottle calf I'm bringing bottles to, so why not?
Why not in a second?
Yeah. So people have asked me, well, why aren't you trying to pair them? And they've sent me all the tips and yes, thank you.
Right.
I know, but we are not trying to pair them because he is wild. He came from a herd that doesn't get hands-on.
Out on pasture.
Yeah, when they get worked, it's through a chute.
Right.
So if we give him to her, that means we have to catch him every night and separate them so that I can milk her in the morning.
Right.
Which has its pros and its cons. The big con is catching him.
Yes.
So
those little suckers are not easy to catch.
No. And I'm already milking twice a day. So we're like, what's one more? What's one more? So that's the decision we've made. So.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit.
I mean, either way, it's a thing that has to be done every night. Either I go out there and I chase a calf around the field and get pissy about it.
Right.
Because I will.
Right.
Or I go out there and I milk Dolly, which she knows what to do. I know what to do. I have milk. I have product. It's either way.
It's so funny the things that get said when you're trying to chase a calf or load an animal that's not cooperating or...
Yeah, have you seen the memes that say, I'm sorry for what I said when we were working cows? Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's true.
It's true.
Some ugly things get said.
Yeah.
Every time.
Usually it's to the cows.
Yes.
Usually it's to the cows.
Yep. My husband often, for lack of a better term, goes ghetto. And, some of the things I'm like, babe.
Yeah. I feel that. I'm the one who does that on our farm. Yep. So
that's funny. So that's farm life.
That's the way it goes. Yeah, and it does stink.
Yeah,
but it is part of it. It can't. I actually got a message from somebody who said, why would you share that? I was like, I didn't post graphic photos or I didn't put all the details out there. I just honestly. I wanted prayer for my cow was the first thing. That was first and foremost. I want my cow to do better.
Right. Yeah.
Could you please pray for her? We have all this following on our farm page.
Right.
There's praying people out there who can help us,
Right.
Secondly, I think that, I don't know how to say this nicely, so I'm just going to say it. I think that the Instagram and Pinterest worthy photos of keeping your milk cow are not genuine. Like that's not genuine farm life.
Right.
That is every now and then, but I'm not wearing sundresses and baby wearing out there milking my cow to get my perfect cheese. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, farming does not always look pretty.
Right.
And when you share just the pretty, I think it's misleading.
Right. I think, keeping a milk cow has been somewhat romanticized. Mm-hmm. And I think that's unfortunate because a lot of people get into it and quickly get overwhelmed and realize this ain't for me.
Right.
And there's a lot of misplaced milk cows. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. So, I actually had somebody ask last week too, like, do you think I should, sell milk? And I was like, well, I mean, if you're into it, but like, let me just explain to you like what my days are like right now. Like I do think everybody should have dairy on their farm. Mm-hmm. I do. Like, I know that's not the reality. That's not possible, right. But I do think that is the best for everybody. But I don't think everybody should sell milk. Like,
no,
if you've never kept a milk cow, don't try to make that decision.
Right. I mean, maybe just try to keep the milk cow first.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's
yes,
it.
Let's start at square one.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people, you might do that and find out and have that feeling like, oh, this ain't for me.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Like, I think sharing is great, but I think if you're going to share, you have to share both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I share.
Yeah. And you should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's death and there's illness and there's decisions to make and there's money to spend and there's driving 3 hours to buy meds and vets to call and, all of that goes with it.
Yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is if you own livestock, eventually you're going to have an emergency. Mm-hmm. That's going to happen.
That's the way it goes.
It's not an emergency. So, I mean, prepare as best as you can.
Right.
Because it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So.
But now we have this string of warm days ahead of us that started, and it's so nice. And our cows should mend well with the good weather. It's not going to be rainy. It's not going to be cold. It's not going to be hot.
I was so thankful that Saturday night when I went to bed, I knew it wasn't going to rain and that it wasn't going to be super, super, super cold.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I almost thought, like, I wanted to put the calf in the trailer with hay and a heat lamp.
Right.
And I was seriously considering it at midnight.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah.
And it was like, no, just go to bed, You
did everything you can do.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm thankful for the weather that we're having now, too. And not only do our cows appreciate it, like, I worked in the garden yesterday.
I wore my flip-flops today. I was like, yes,
we're free of jackets. But it's not to last, I'm sure. Not yet.
Oh, no. We're not out of the woods with the cold. It'll get cold again.
Yeah.
And we'll all be sad again.
Yeah.
But spring is almost here.
It is. Mm-hmm. It is. So maybe we'll have more garden content next week.
Mm-hmm. Yep, maybe.
Maybe nobody's cows will go down this week.
I hope not.
I know.
Or lambs. Hopefully there's no more lambing situations. We have 5 lambs on the ground right now.
Wow.
And they're so cute.
They are so cute.
I love the little lambs. They are just adorable. And every time they hear us coming, they start bleating and they're so cute. So I'm still wondering, though, I mean, I still might have a couple more mamas that are going to lamb. So we're just watching everybody close.
Cool.
Making sure nothing crazy happens.
No catastrophes, please.
Right.
We'd like to be out of that thick woods. We've done our time.
Right. That was enough.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess until next week.
I see your little orphan calf out the window, I think.
Doesn't he look ridiculous? He's all red, and he has a white tail.
He has a white tail.
It's so funny. And his face, he's sired by a Charlet. And they have like a short, like angry looking face. Like he looks, I've been calling him mean mugging because he looks like he's mean mugging all the time. Like he's got like furrowed eyebrows and like this frown mouth. He's so funny. But if I go out there, he'll come right to us now. Like,
right.
Where's my bottle?
Like, oh, that's my bottle, lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cute.
So,
all right. Well, I suppose until next week.
Until next week, let's garden then, okay?
Yep.
All
Bye,
right.
y'all.
Bye.